Watches play a significant role in films. An accurate depiction of a character often includes a watch they might actually wear. This is especially true in movies focusing on the military and intelligence. In this video, we'll discuss some of the most accurate and intriguing depictions of watches in movies relevant to our community. Watches of Espionage is curated by a former CIA case officer with a passion for timepieces. On the WOE YouTube channel, we explore the intersection of watches and the military, intelligence, and national security. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be informed when we release new videos. In Hollywood, decisions about watches vary from paid product placement to actors' personal watches to prop masters who make deliberate choices based on specific character traits. Whether we're talking about mercenaries, arms dealers, CIA officers, or Navy SEALs, a thoughtfully selected timepiece can complement a fictional character, lending a sense of credibility and bridging the gap between reality and Hollywood, especially for those in the know. Watches in film are also influential. Believe it or not, we know plenty of real spies and operators whose watch choices were influenced by movies. Take, for example, the Omega Seamaster and its connection to James Bond. Even though Omega pays big bucks to be the watch of choice for 007, the Seamaster has still become a go-to option for real-life intelligence officers. A classic case of life imitating art and vice versa. Setting Bond aside, here are our top picks for Hollywood watches of espionage. In 13 Hours, Tyrone Woods, a CIA Global Response Staff contractor played by James Badge Dale, wore a 6-digit Rolex Submariner while defending a remote State Department facility in CIA Annex in Benghazi, Libya. As a former SEAL turned GRS contractor, this choice makes sense given the Naval Special Warfare community's long-standing relationship with Rolex and Tudor. As we have documented in the past on the WOE Dispatch, it is common for SEALs to commemorate a deployment or BUD/S graduation with a Rolex Submariner or Sea Dweller. This link dates back to the Vietnam War when SEALs wore Rolex and Tudor Submariners as tools in combat, cementing a connection that persists to this day. For a couple of modern examples, a Rolex Submariner was worn by SEAL Team 6 operator Will Chesney on the raid that killed Osama bin Laden, and another Rolex Deep Sea saw service on the wrist of former SEAL Rob Huberty in Afghanistan. For more on Will Chesney's Submariner and Rob Huberty's Deep Sea, check out their profile articles in the Dispatch, which are linked down below. Digging deeper into the real Tyrone Woods, the former SEAL had at least 2 luxury watches, a Rolex Sea Dweller Reference 16660 and a Panerai Luminor Marina, both of which he once tried to sell on a popular Rolex forum. On the morning of September 12, 2012, Woods died defending a remote CIA base when mortar fire struck his team's position on a rooftop. Tyrone was 41 years old. While the film is of course a dramatized Hollywood production, it shines a light on a rarely seen community of operators, who in this case made the ultimate sacrifice defending American lives. As is so often the case in our community, a watch is never just a watch, and the on-screen Rolex in 13 Hours tastefully pays homage to the watch worn by a fallen special operator. Once again, details matter. Watches play a central role in former SEAL turned writer Jack Carr's Terminal List book series. Central to the story of James Reese is a legacy Rolex Submariner purchased by his father, Thomas Reese, during R&R in Saigon during his first tour in Vietnam with SEAL Team 2. The elder Reese went on to wear the sub while serving as a CIA case officer overseas. Given the prominence of watches in the books, it's no surprise the Amazon series adaptation contains several accurate and well-placed watches for James Reese and his cast of supporting characters. We are told that these choices were organic and not product placements, which makes it even cooler. James Reese, played by Chris Pratt, wears several watches throughout the series, including an Oris Aquis Pro Date Caliber 400, a Resco Instruments Black Frog, a G-Shock, and a period-correct 511 military tactical field ops watch. Carr even makes a cameo wearing an Aries diver, a watch from a micro-brand whose founder has CIA connections. Overall, the series is well done and includes further watch spotting with several Oris models, a wide array of digital tool watches, and even an IWC Big Pilots worn by the villain Steve Horn, portrayed by Jai Courtney. Both Pratt and Carr are watch guys, and it's cool to see these pieces featured. Another subtle and accurate nod to our community. It's always great when someone gets it right. 2005's Lord of War is a mostly fictional Hollywood account of the life of Victor Bout, also known as the Merchant of Death, a notorious Russian arms dealer who took advantage of the fall of the Soviet Union to sell off the massive stockpile of leftover weapons at a significant profit. In the film, Yuri Orlov, played by Nicolas Cage, wears a white gold Rolex President Day Date, a fitting timepiece for the uber-wealthy and charismatic arms dealer. Cage, an avid watch collector himself, has an impressive collection, and this may be a personal watch he elected to wear for the film. The real Merchant of Death, Victor Bout, was arrested in a sting operation led by the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration in Bangkok in 2008. During his arrest, Bout was wearing a Breitling B1, a watch he continued to wear while in detention for at least a month. Bout's B1 is yet another example of a sketchy dude wearing a Breitling. In our business, we call this a pattern. For more on the sketchy dudes wear Breitling phenomenon, be sure to check out the video on our channel. In Argo, Ben Affleck portrays real-life CIA technical officer Tony Mendez, who was famously tasked with extracting 6 Americans holed up with the Canadian ambassador in Tehran after militants stormed the U.S. Embassy on November 4, 1979. Disguised as a film producer scouting locations for a science fiction production in Tehran, Affleck's character wears a Rolex, which would theoretically be in keeping with his cover, assuming the Rolex in question was period correct. No joy, however, as the Rolex worn by Affleck in Argo was a decidedly modern deep-sea sea dweller, reference 116660, a watch released by the Crown in 2008. How this came to pass is anyone's guess. There is an urban legend that the film's prop department provided a replica of a period-correct Rolex Submariner for Affleck to wear, but the actor preferred a genuine Rolex. Any Rolex from the era, but perhaps especially the Submariner, would have made perfect sense for a posh Hollywood producer wearing a rugged luxury watch for his adventurous location scouting trip to Tehran. Instead, a modern 44mm Rolex designed for saturation diving time traveled to 1979 to assist Affleck on his personnel extraction adventure, once again proving that details matter in espionage as well as filmmaking. We have said several times in WOE Dispatch articles that the Rolex GMT Master is the ultimate CIA case officer's watch. A classy and refined tool that signals to others you are a man of culture, yet don't mind getting your hands dirty. The ideal case officer has been described as a PhD that can win a bar fight, and this idiom covers Thomas Magnum of the 1980s Magnum PI television series well. Magnum was a former SEAL, naval intelligence officer, and a Vietnam War veteran. He's the ultimate cool guy from the 80s, and the Pepsi GMT is the perfect watch for him. During an interview with Frank Rousseau, Selleck said of the watch, "I've always loved that watch. It was the perfect match for Magnum. It's a watch that likes action, and believe me, I know what I'm talking about. I've had my fair share of sport watches, but never one as tough as the Rolex. It's been underwater, buried in sand, taken I don't know how many knocks, and never a problem. It's called the Pepsi because the bezel colors are the same as the Pepsi logo. Personally, I thought the red went well with the Ferrari, and the blue matched Hawaii's lagoons and sky. You might think you're cool, and you might actually be cool, but you will never be as cool as Tom Selleck sporting a legendary mustache in a red Ferrari wearing a vintage Rolex GMT Pepsi." Where many watches spotted in popular films are the product of pay-for-play product placement and a broader marketing agenda. Occasionally, Hollywood gets it right, equipping characters with timepieces that add to a film as a whole. This is particularly challenging in our community, where watches serve as so much more than just a method of telling time, acting as mementos of service, sacrifice, and operations gone by. We're always on the lookout for Hollywood watches of espionage. If you'd like to see more videos like this, be sure to share your best watch spotting and film moments in the comments. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, drop a comment, and hit the bell icon to be informed when we release new videos. For even more, check out our website, watchesofespionage.com, for more content, as well as our collection of watch straps and other purpose-built tools designed for our community. Until next time, happy hunting.